Hello and welcome to the Empyrean Galactic Survival Advanced Building tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to cover the various aspects of advanced building, including the use of the N menu and basically your symmetry planes. Now those of you that are familiar with plane building, as in not the aircraft type, are probably going to be very familiar with this, especially veteran space engineers players. However, Empyrean handles things slightly differently, but we'll get to that as we go along. So first of all, we've built our initial base here, so maybe we're thinking, okay, what else can we do with this? Well, there's nothing worse than having to build one side and then the other side to match. Right pain. So what we can do is we can use, I mean, people have got many different words for it: symmetrical building, duplex building, plane building, but it all amounts pretty much to the self same thing. So we will obviously, first of all, we will need to make sure that we've got some building blocks to get us started with. I've obviously got plenty here just for the purposes of the tutorial, and it's worth noting I am playing in survival mode, so I'm not going to be able to hover all around and make life a lot easier for myself, but hopefully you know, everybody in survival or creative will get an equal amount of benefit from the video. So without further ado, first thing we need to do is we need to select our block. I think really what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put perhaps a little module on either side of the base here so that we can get to it either side. There are no rules, you can put it wherever you want. Perhaps I might want to have one popping out the front, so I think we'll go with that. So the first thing we need to do then is we need to first of all select our plane menu by pressing and holding the N key, and that's N for November. Then we need to look at the different planes that we have here: X and Y, X and Z, and Y and Z. Now this basically covers all three planes, but in this case I'm going to have a look and see what we've got. So again, pressing our N key, we click once with the left mouse button, and straight away we can see that that is so far where the plane is ready to be used. However, that's really not what I'm looking for. I don't want my plane there, because if I start building here, it will replicate it on this side here. Well, that's not what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center of my base there. Again, we're going to press the N button, click here, and you can see that the plane has now shifted, and it's shifted to the middle, which is where we want it to be. So we leave that there now, and just to show you how this works, I'm going to place a block out here and a block out here, and just going to whiz around the back just to give you an idea of how this works, and you'll see that those blocks are now being duplicated on the rear side of my base, which now means that I don't have to keep whizzing backwards and forwards, I can concentrate on one side only, and those changes that I make on this side are going to be reproduced on the rear of the base. Now we're rotating our blocks using the insert, home, page up, page down, end, delete keys. Okay, I don't know if anyone has a proper name for those, but anyway, they're the keys that you're going to be using to rotate your blocks. And as you can see, we are now starting to take shape. Now symmetry building is fantastic. It works only, as far as I can tell, on a single plane. It is fair to say that that may change in the future. We might be able to support multiple planes, but for the time being it is just the one. But personally this suits me just fine, because my brain power is not exactly extreme, to say the least. And essentially that is the essence of advanced building. I know it seems very sort of simplistic when I explain it like that, but again, everything that I'm creating on the front end there will be sort of repeated on the back end here. So by the time I've finished making my module on the front here, another module will appear on the back here. and then from there you can pretty much design your base any way you like. But it is worth remembering that we've now got our initial plane there. So for example, if I now change the plane to the X and Y plane, select my block, hold down N again, left click, that plane has now changed along the X and Y axis. So now what I can look at doing maybe is adding a little bit more on this side, and as you'll see, this has changed here. So let's see what's happened just around the back. Now as you'll see, they have not added the blocks on the back here, sorry, because the plane has now changed. So now we're going to focus just on the plane at the front here. Now essentially, using planes like this is a great way of cutting down your building time by 50%. It's also worth noting that especially when you're building vehicles and so on, this is a brilliant way of making sure that you've got a symmetrical build. It really is just such a time saver. You can focus on the one side and you know that the other side is automatically going to be replicated. It is also worth noting that I placed the original block here, and as you can see, the sort of indented block there is facing the correct way that I want it, and it's also mirrored it on this side so it reflects it exactly. So it isn't like an exact placement, it's like a mirror image. So when you look in a mirror and everything's all reversed, so each time you place a block this side, it will be placed on this side in reverse so it matches up, and again you will have your symmetry. It is fair to say a lot of people have done some amazing builds, and it's certainly going to be worth checking out the gallery on the Empyrion website, and hopefully you'll get some inspiration and create some truly epic builds. But again, that is your essence of your advanced building. Good luck with your projects, and look forward to seeing what you guys have made. All the best. Bye bye now.